What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we are going to be predicting the NBA playoff bracket. Have I watched much basketball this year? No. Do I know much about most of these teams? Not really. So, this is going to be... But all I'm going to say is that having, there was a year where, I think it was 2018, it was the year I took off college, so I was watching NBA basketball every night. I got so much wrong in the 2018 playoffs, and anything can happen in these playoffs. So you just never know. You just never know. So we're going to start off with the East, because I think this one's quite easy. Bucks haven't been playing that well, not gonna lie. But Giannis has been good, so Bucks in 5. How do I put them through? There we go. Bucks 4-1. Yeah, Milwaukee in 5. As great as TJ Warren's been, my Miami Heat are going through in 6 games. I'm a Miami Heat fan, by the way, so that is why I am that high on Miami. But in my opinion, Miami in 6. Okay, Philadelphia Sixers versus the Boston Celtics. I think that this is a foregone conclusion, and this is going to be 2018 all over again. Boston Celtics, get out the brooms. The Boston Celtics, calling now, are sweeping the Philadelphia 76ers without Ben Simmons. They are sweeping them. They did it in 2018. They're doing it again. They had Ben Simmons in 2018. They're doing it again. Although Boston had Al Horford in 2018. Boston are better than they were that year. Boston were better than they were. Tatum's better. Jaylen Brown's better. What's his name? Kemba's better. So, going with that. And I think the Nets take 2 games, not going to lie. I don't think they're not going to beat the Raptors, but I think the Nets take 2 games here. Okay, so now we're going to go to the first round for the West. Everyone is, I don't know, why is it a foregone, why are people making it a foregone conclusion that the Portland Trail Blazers are going to beat the Los Angeles Lakers? I get it. Dame Lillard's been unbelievable. Him and Booker, the 2 bubble MVPs, unbelievable. But at the end of the day, how many games have can Portland win by less than 5 points? Every game they play is close. So for that reason, I'm picking the Lakers in 5. I'm going 4-1. Lakers in 5. I'm going 4-1 to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know why, again, people are saying it's a foregone conclusion the Blazers have won. The Suns were better than the Blazers through the bubble. So, and the Blazers did again. They struggled against Memphis. They struggled against Brooklyn, who I don't think are particularly good. They struggled against, I know Dallas are a very good team. They struggled against Dallas, but I'm calling Lakers. Lakers win this one. Rockets and Thunder. This is a weird one because the Rockets are such a tough team to just even think about. Because of the way they play the game, how small ball, how just much they play small ball. This is a tricky one. This is a really tricky one. So, give me a minute to think about this. So, I'm going... It's hard to even predict the games in these because there's no home or away. I think OKC in 5. And hear me out. Hear me out. I have no reason. It's just a hunch. It's just a hunch. I don't know. Maybe the game will be slower and the Rocket small ball won't work as well. But then the crowds and referees, the home court advantage isn't going to make a difference. No, let me change it. Let me go 6. OKC in 6. I think this is a crazy one. Let me go OKC in 6. Okay, so we've got, I think, Denver versus Utah. If you'd asked me pre-bubble, I would have said Utah, but I don't. Bojan Bogdanovic isn't playing, is he? I would have thought Utah, would have been like my dark horse team to win the whole thing. But I like Denver. I really do. MPJ's been playing even better, so I'm going Denver in 5. MPJ has been exceptional since being in the bubble. He has been incredible. So then, Dallas and LA. I'm not going to be crazy and say Dallas win, but LA in 7. Luka Doncic is going to have 1 game where he wins it by himself. Kristaps Porzingis is going to have 1 game where he wins it by himself. Kristaps and Luka are going to combine and have 1 incredible game together and get a 3rd game. But they're the only ways that Dallas stand a chance. I do not think that Dallas have enough firepower to beat them in a series, but I can see them taking it to Game 7. And to be honest, if it's Game 7, it ain't going to happen. Is it more likely? Do I change to 6? No, I'm going to say 7. I'm going to say 7, but I could be wrong. Okay, Miami versus Milwaukee. Miami in 6. I don't know why I like this Miami Heat team. I really do, especially in the bubble. And I think they're going to win. I know it's crazy. I know everyone's saying the Milwaukee Bucks could win a championship. I think Miami Heat win. And I think they don't even take them to 7 games. I think Miami in 6 against the Milwaukee Bucks. If there's any player that can deal with Giannis, like what Kawhi did with the Raptors last year, it's Jimmy Butler. And also, they've got Bam Adebayo in there, who's much better defensively than, say, a Marc Gasol or Serge Ibaka from Toronto. As well as that, this Milwaukee team don't have, from last year, they don't have Mirotic. So I don't think Milwaukee are quite as good. I think Miami aren't that much worse than the Toronto team from last year. They're worse, not that much worse. So I'm going to go Miami in 6. Toronto in 5. Yeah, I don't think... If there's any of these series that I'm confident of, first of all, it would be this one here, 4-1. This sweep, and then it would be this one here. Toronto in 5 over Boston. I don't know. I just think Toronto have too much firepower. I like the Celtics. I do really like the Celtics, but I do think Toronto have too much firepower. We get LA versus OKC. LA in 5. I think they get to the Western Conference Finals in 5 games. LA Clippers beating the Nuggets in... Do we go 6 games? Yeah, let's go 6. Let's go 6. They don't... Again, the Clippers have too much firepower. So, for me, it is going to be Miami versus Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals and a battle of LA in the Western Conference Finals. And these are so... Like, if these are the series... Heck, even if Milwaukee end up beating Miami, it's Milwaukee-Toronto, these series are too close to call. Like, I think both of them are almost too close to call. So, I'm going... Well, do I go with my heart and pick Miami Heat? Or do I go with my head and pick the Toronto Raptors for the Eastern Conference? I'm going with my head. I'm going Toronto in 7. Basically, an in 7 is anything could happen. So I'm going to go Toronto in 7 to make their 2nd straight NBA Finals. Oh, man. The LA Lakers versus the Clippers. Oh, it's... Again, this is head or heart. My head's saying the Clippers are just straight up the better team, because they are. But my heart is thinking, you know what? When push comes to shove, LeBron James is going to win it. And Anthony Davis, in my opinion, the players on the court go LeBron, AD, or AD and Kawhi even, then Paul George. See, they can arguably have the 2 best players on the floor, but after Paul George, there's a whole load of people before it gets to Kuzma. So... Lakers in 6. Lakers in 6. And I'm going with the upset in the NBA Finals. I'm going Lakers in 6. I'm going for the weirdest upset ever. Just because of the way Toronto match up. You've got a Siakam in Toronto. You've got OG Anunoby. You've still got that championship experience. You've got the Kyle Lowry, who they're... Like, Kyle Lowry's no Dame Lillard, but the Lakers are still going to struggle to guard him. As a guard, like... Unless Kuzma steps up big time, I'm calling the Raptors in 6 games. The Raptors winning back-to-back. The Raptors winning back-to-back. That's my prediction. That is my prediction, lads. The Raptors winning back-to-back championships with the Lakers making the final. My prediction is the legacy destroyer for Kawhi Leonard. That the Raptors can win without him, and also he doesn't make the finals. That is my prediction, that Kawhi Leonard's legacy is gone at the end of this playoffs. If I go with like my head over heart, Milwaukee I still think the Raptors make the finals through the East, and it would probably be Clippers versus Raptors. I think if the Clippers beat the Lakers, the Clippers beat the Raptors. But I think if the Lakers beat the Clippers, the Raptors beat the Lakers. Either way, though, this is my predictions. Playoffs haven't started. It's the bubble. We don't know injuries, and anything can happen. Anything can happen. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.